Hey guys, it's Mana here. We're back with more Lucid9. When we last left off, we inconveniently left Irie alone on the roof with Soji's friend Haru, who may or may not try to kill her. Who knows? Because everybody seems to think that she's a killer. So, guess we're going to jump back in and find out what's going on. We went back to class, so we're not going to find out what happened on the roof for a while, I guess. Unfortunately. Jackass should have stayed. Afternoon classes are just as dreary as the morning, with one key difference. Yahiko is absent. The teacher seems relieved, if anything. When he catches the empty gap in the seating chart, he chirps about linguistics with a heightened spark in his eye. Yahiko doesn't return for the rest of the day. Well, that's a great sign. I drift in between lessons, trying to bring myself to delete the number on my tablet. I can't do it. After what feels like an eternity, class finally ends. Masato doesn't come. Rui doesn't come. Yahiko doesn't come. I'm still in the silence as my classmates hurry outdoors to savor their precious hours of freedom before the gates are closed. Elizabeth is one of them, marching away with her growing crowd of groupies. Misaki is the only one to drop by my desk. Have you seen Rui today, Yama? Rui? No. If anything, I should be asking about her presence. I haven't seen her in a while. I see. If you see her, please take care of her. What do you mean? She only sighs vaguely, a furrow to her brow. Please? Then, without another word, she turns and strides off, flicking her phone between her hands. Take care of Rui. Why? How? More questions, fewer answers. That's how I feel about this game. This is getting ridiculous. Agreed! I restlessly swing my backpack over my shoulder and head out of the classroom. If I'm not getting answers, I'll just have to find them myself. My first instinct is to look for my friends from a high vantage point. Shortly after arriving, I quickly realize that it's a terrible instinct. Even if I had perfect eyesight, it's not like I can see through buildings. What made me think that I could have found Rui from the rooftop? I'm just about to leave, but I catch a flicker of motion from the corner of my eye. Purple hair. Wavy purple hair. What a bloody prat. Yep, it's definitely Elizabeth. I round the corner to the back part of the rooftop, the generally more isolated area. Sure enough, my favorite Brit is settled on the edge of a bench, nose shoved deep in the pages of a paperback book. I quickly recognize it as the popular dystopian series, The Famine Tourney. You mean The Hunger Games? Interesting. Didn't think she'd have time to read fiction between those textbooks of hers. Who's a bloody brat? She doesn't even glance up, clearly absorbed in the print before her. This President Ash, can't stand smarmy gits like... She trails off and slowly looks upward. You! She leaps to her feet, thrusting the book in front of her like a broadsword. Good day, Lizzie. Don't tell anyone. She quickly slides her books behind her, looking down. That was a delayed reaction. I'll take it to my grave, just like you being a barista. Great, I feel so comforted. You don't trust me, I'm hurt. Do you blame me? I want to bite back with a teasing remark, but my tongue is stiff in my mouth. Trust, the fickle thing. Elizabeth's brows furrow at my change of mood. She slowly closes the book, evaluating me for a long moment. Are you worried about the disappearances? For a second, I'm flabbergasted. It's almost like she read my mind. What? The main targets are Academy students. It's some cause for concern, isn't it? All right, that wasn't exactly how I'd been thinking about the disappearances, but... Doesn't matter, people die anyway. My, I see you have sky-high expectations of humanity. What can I say? I'm an optimist. She smirks slightly at this. It seems to have softened the hard lines of her face. Prompts me to speak. You know, sometimes you're not that unbearable. Oh yes, I try to answer your every beck and call. I can tell from the encouragement you shower on me. Well, I'm known for my nurturing spirit. By people on drugs? She actually giggles, extracting a chuckle from me. Getting along with Elizabeth? What's going on? It probably won't last, but maybe I should see where it goes. Keep talking! Yeah, why not? I don't have anywhere else to be, and honestly, this could be fun. I take a moment and glance over her stacks of tomes. Aside from the famine tourney, her selection seems to weigh on the mystery side. Works from Arthur Conan Doyle, hate you so much, Dorothy Sayers, Agatha Christie, and more. Good job. Those aren't blatantly obvious at all, guys. I also catch multiple outliers in the romance department. These your favorites? I've yet to decide. The genre is proving to be enjoyable so far, though. So, you don't know the endings. Her face promptly droops into a cold glare. Don't you dare spoil them. Spoil them? Me? I would never. I peer over her shoulder at the famine tourney. But you know, if I were you, I wouldn't trust that baker boy. Yama, I just said. And the archer girl, the main character, well, don't be too startled if she kills everyone else in order to win at the end. Stop it. And the little sister, she may or may not turn insane and become a serial killer. Fine. She promptly slams the book shut and slides it back into the pile, withdrawing a fresh one. Looks like Arthur Conan Doyle's The Dogs of Garmond. I give up. Spoiler alert, the main character dies in the end. Again, she hastily returns the book and takes another one. Dorothy Sayers' Gaudy Night. Spoiler alert, Shush! The characters end up hating each other's guts and swear to become eternal rivals. Blah, blah, blah. Are you going to keep doing this? She looks genuinely upset, so I quickly retract, lost of my humor. I was just making it up. You were? Want me to cross my heart? Hoping to die would be better. You must save the best for last, my dear. She snorts at this, shaking her head in disbelief. My God, you're exactly like... Her eyes shuffle away, sparking my curiosity. Exactly like... Well, you know, Mr. Darcy, sorta, from Pride and Prejudice. Not that you would know about that book, anyway. Actually, I read it. You have? Her surprise seems genuine rather than condescending. I decide to respect it. Why, certainly, Miss Bennet. I do consider myself to be well-read. Elizabeth straightens her lips, twitching into a coquettish smile. It appears your considerations for one being well-read are substantially lower than the normalities of society, Mr. Darcy. Well, naturally, it is in accordance with the quality of my companion. I beg your pardon. After all, dear Elizabeth, a poor Miss Bennet you would make. You are but half English. As for you, Mr. Darcy, you are twice as conceited as your original counterpart. Why, thank you. It is not to be thankful for. A proud man I may be, but I know where to place my gratitude. Is that place one that exists in this world? Naturally not. So I thought, this is actually fun. When Elizabeth loosens up, her wit and intelligence make for a playful combination. Not that she'd ever actually be Elizabeth Bennet, or that I would be Mr. Darcy. After all, in the end, they fall in love. Just the thought sends me into shudders of revulsion. I have a small question for you, Mr. Darcy. What might that be, Miss Bennet? What brings you to the rooftop? Your undying beauty. She flushes brightly, even though I was just joking. You taint those words with your capriciousness. What? She quickly loosens the mask of Elizabeth Bennet in her fervor. You can't say romantic things so easily. It loses the meaning in them. What, you think I meant it seriously? Well, no, but for example, she clears her throat and stares me dead in the eye. I love you. Despite hating her, do I hate her? Yes, I hate her. I nearly flailed backward, my stomach turning over. What the heck? I didn't mean it, but you see? No matter your inherent intent, words have power. And you tell me that you love me to justify this. Well, it's not like I bloody mean it. Then why'd you say it? To prove a point. See, you're riled up. That's exactly how I feel when people throw around words so casually. And now I know why this girl can't handle a joke. Still, I guess to some extent it makes sense. I don't want to admit it, but her counter-argument is actually valid. So that was why you were always on my case, for throwing around my words. Of a sort, yes. She clears her throat, protectively hugging a book to her chest. Honestly speaking, I didn't hate you. Really. Well, not at first. So what traumatic event lost Her Majesty's favor upon me? Strangely enough, she ignores my mocking tone. Her gaze is deadly serious. Well, that was unfortunate timing. I wait for Elizabeth to continue, but she immediately retracts, digging back into her book. Answer it. She doesn't really give me any other option, so I take a look. Hey, are you busy right now? I need some grunt labor. Get marvelous masa, then. Courtyard, now. I'm actually disappointed as I slide my phone into my pocket. This was the closest to a civil conversation I've gotten to with Elizabeth. Well, Miss Bennet, it looks like duty calls. As you know, I have so many admirers to see. She snickers lightly. Oh, I wouldn't count on it. There are, after all, 70 million blind people in the world. I snort. It was actually a passable comeback. Cheerio, Miss Bennet. Good day, Mr. Darcy. Don't come again. I will, Miss Bennet, just for you. Well, I shan't stop you if you wish to publicly humiliate yourself. I only roll my eyes at her and shut the door, setting my steps toward the academy courtyard. My pace is lighter than when I'd first arrived. Unfortunately, my thoughts sober as I approach the courtyard. Why didn't Rui contact me earlier? Where has Yahiko been, or Masato? I guess that they have their own lives. Rui's in drama club, Yahiko has his happy club, and Masato, well, we're not exactly on talking terms. Besides, it's not like they're obligated to babysit me every day, logically speaking. Rui is leaning against 3 homogeneous suitcases by the nearest bench, biting her lip furtively as she twines her fingers in her skirt. Oh good, you came. I see how it is. You only call me when it's convenient for you. The bitterness in my tone is only half joking. Rui doesn't seem to notice this. Hey, you're not the one who has joined any club. Or you're the one who hasn't joined any clubs. I curb my tongue at this comment. No matter how much I'd like to step back, she's right. It's my own fault. So what's all this about? I'm going back home for a while. What? Where'd this come from? Although, judging from Akira's words earlier, I think I know why. I mean, I'll still come to school every day and everything. It's just, a little commute. I notice that she blatantly dodges the question. It's a 1-hour commute to the other side of town. Well, on the bright side, it's less time with you. Ha ha ha. It is less time. With me, with Masato, with Yahiko, with anyone. She feels painfully distant. Really though, it'll be nice to spend some time with my parents. You might want to consider doing the same. My house, it's 3 hours away, Rui. In a, entirely different city. You haven't called in a while, have you? I only shrug. I don't hate my parents. In fact, if anything, it's the opposite. I'd hate to cause any more trouble than I already have. Better to leave them in peace and quiet. Well, we should go. If I miss my train, I'm stranded here. For a wild, reckless moment, I'm seized with the impulse to make her stay. Not that I'd actually do it. Let me guess. You need me to carry the luggage. Well, isn't that what friends are for? What kind of friends do you have? She playfully bumps my shoulder, but it feels foreign, stilted. Really, really nice ones that help an innocent maiden with her luggage, right? I grab 2 of the suitcases and pull them by their handles. They drag against me, protesting with weight. What do you have in here, bricks? Your brain. Oh, it's so big. You mean it's so dense? I chuckle at this. Ruri smiles shyly, pulling the remaining suitcase alongside me. Thanks, Yama. We head to the main street in silence, staring everywhere but at each other. It's not until we've settled in at the bus stop that I find myself with words. I restlessly tap my fingers against the worn metal zippers of her case, searching my thoughts. Why'd you call me instead of Masato? He's the kind of guy you'd want for this. I don't think so. Anyway, Masato must be busy with track and honor society, and yeah. He shouldn't have time to notice little things like this. Her answers only cultivate more confusion. In a way, you're moving back home. That isn't exactly little. Well, still, it's distracting and weird and honestly unattractive. Am I speaking the same language as anyone in this school? Of all people, I would have thought that I could at least understand Rui. I'd grown up with her. I knew her. Heck, in some ways I knew her better than I knew myself. Can she change that much in just 2 days? Look, Masato's your friend, and you're moving. That's all there is to it, right? Clearly I'm getting nowhere with this. Where's Yahiko? Rui relaxes slightly at this abrupt change of topic. Busy. How busy? Who knows? Probably just wanted to skip out on helping or something. I want to inquire further, or at the very least tell her about the exchange between him and Haru, but we arrive at the subway station just then, cutting our conversation short. The platform is hauntingly empty. The orderly benches are completely free of cigarettes, gum, or scraps of paper. It's as if they've never been sat on. Furthermore, the only person in sight is the attendant at the ticket booth, and he's currently snoring. In a way, it makes sense. Not only is this a minor station, but Isamu is known for its strengths in security and prosperity. Why would anyone want to leave that? No, it's still strange. The platform had some pretty decent traffic when we were here heading to District 8 the other day, but now it's completely empty. Even if this is a quiet spell before rush hour, is it really reasonable? Come to think of it, how is the city reacting to the disappearances? I live in a bubble where the only reactions I see are the ones of fellow students. I have no clue what the common office worker is thinking, or the common housewife, or common fast food worker. Is the city afraid, or am I just looking too much into this? Ruri quietly tugs at my sleeve, clutching her pre-bought tickets in her hand. This place gives me the creeps. Didn't you go home yesterday night? Oh gosh, don't remind me. I swear there was a zombie hiding in the corner. Boo! Eek! I burst into laughter as she leaps away, flailing her arms wildly in my direction. Yeah, Ma! Well, see any zombies? I wish Miki were here. She could return the favor with, a little scare. A scare? Say, an innocent little bug. Don't you dare. Ooh, or maybe a big hairy spider with huge eyes and pincers that click together as it... Come here. I lunge toward her. She darts further down the platform, giggling lightly. I bolt towards her, but a sudden shadow darts across the edge of my vision. Get away from me! What? I stop short. Ruri also grinds to a halt. 2 academy students are sprinting across the platform on the opposite side of the track, weaving between the columns and jumping over benches in their haste to what? First, I think they're just having a casual race, but when the second student crashes into a trash can and plants into the ground, the first doesn't even spare him a glance. It's Yahiko. She gestures to the student who just took a nasty fall. I look again, stomach dropping as I recognize a familiar head of blonde hair. Yahiko? What's Yahiko doing here? He's struggling to pull himself to his feet, clutching at his ribs. His face is twisted in a way that I've never seen before. Harsh angles and contorted lines that make him look like a completely different person. The other boy, who's currently halfway down the platform, is bony and pale with brown hair that hangs over his eyes. It's Soji. Soji and Yahiko. What are they doing here? Isn't Soji supposed to be missing? If, of course, the words of Irie's bullies can be trusted. Why are they running? What's going on? I said get away! Soji, don't be like this. I hear the faint blare of an incoming train. Soji staggers closer to the tracks, a wild look in his eyes. I know what you're trying to do. I know who you are. You're too close, Soji. Ruri bolts, but I catch a glint of the train and snag the collar of her jacket. Don't. You'll just hurt yourself. The words slip from my throat, cool, slimy like a serpent. But... Yahiko suddenly throws himself at Soji, tackling him closer to the train. Ruri tenses but doesn't move. Get off! No, you're not in your right mind, Soji! Soji socks him straight in the jaw. Yahiko flinches backward, but he keeps his grip secure as he drags himself to his feet. The train blares its incoming approach. What is he doing? Soji wriggles in his grasp, snapping his feet at Yahiko's knees, but Yahiko refuses to buckle. He stumbles closer to the track, ignoring Soji's fingernails prying at his hands. The train surges closer as they pass over the caution line. Stop fighting me! Let go! Ruri clutches my arm. Whoop! We need to help! We can't. What? No, we need to call police, hospital, someone. It's too late. Lights flare in the tunnel, and the train blares closer. Ruri slumps against my chest, eyes blank. Soji braces his feet against the ground as Yahiko staggers to the edge. They're screaming now. Half the words are indistinguishable, drowned out by the roaring horn. Killed, just stood, watched. Not fault. Disgusting liar. Finally, Yahiko wrenches his arm. Soji teeters over the edge, limbs thrown back. The train thunders forward. I absently cover Ruri's eyes with my hands, my gaze transfixed as he... falls right beneath the nose of the train, which steamrolls over him, blood splayed over its front. I barely caught a glimpse of Yahiko's face, transfixed with twisted horror, before the train pulls to a stop between us. What happened? Yama, what? My head begins to spin as the red pulses before my eyes. Oh no. Yama, listen to me. You're okay. You'll be fine. I stumble backwards, my hands groping for the wall, a bench, anything. My stomach writhes with nausea. We're in Isamu, Yama. We're in the train station. You can breathe. You're okay. The smell of iron and smoke pummels my nostrils. My vision twists into monochrome. Ruri fades out of sight, her words blurry in my ears. Fine. Don't, okay? Here. I fall away from reality, the screams of passersby ringing in my ears. Here, I'll give you a shot. I hate shots. It's okay, this one won't hurt. Are you sure? Well, not too much. Circle, circle, dot, dot, now you've got your cootie shot. So, I won't die? Uh-huh, that's what the shots do, right? Yeah, thanks, sis. What was that? Hey, what's going on? Mind where you're driving. I can't help it. Good heavens, what is out there? Ice, lots of it. Sweepers must have been delayed. Well, pull over, stop, do something. Just sit tight and be quiet. I need to concentrate. Mizu, I don't like this bus. We'll be fine, don't worry. Damn it. No! What? Yama! Oh, shit. Oh. Mizu. It's okay. Get off, sis. I can't breathe. Mizu? Mizu, get off. Why aren't you moving? Please, sis. Officer, a kid alive in the back. How? A pocket, looks like glass. Quick, get... Did it get him too? The girl? Didn't instantaneous. Sir, civilians, escort away. Give back, you... Oh god, no. Hana. Yoshi, where's... Please. My eyes shut open and I clutch my chest, coughing violently. A hand immediately grips my shoulder and I feel something cold and solid at my lips. A glass. Water. I guzzle it violently, throat burning as it slips into my stomach. My vision finally begins to clear. I'm bundled up in a large comforter, reclined against my sofa. Rui is kneeling in front of me, her expression ridden with concern. She hesitantly brushes her fingertips against my forehead. They feel like ice. You're burning up. She hurries back into the kitchen. I hear the comforting gurgle of my faucet. The warm scent of chicken broth drifts through the air. What happened? Words escape from my throat in a croaky groan. Rui returns and slips a newly refilled glass into my hand. I sip at it, slower this time. You were in shock. You lapsed twice as we came to your apartment. Thankfully, you didn't faint until we got here. I meant Yahiko and Soji. She freezes, her expression flickering in pain. I didn't see. Everyone rushed out of the train to see what had happened. There were police, ambulances, reporters. It was a mess. I narrow my eyes at her. Her hands are clasped tightly, shaking in her lap. Nervousness, definitely. From trauma? Not quite. Are you hiding something from me, Rui? They arrested Yahiko. What? He's currently being detained at the station. How long have I been out? It just suddenly ceases, pushing me into a coughing fit. Rui disappears into the kitchen and comes back with a bowl of steaming chicken noodle soup. Eat this. I work to spoon the food into my mouth, but my hands are shaking uncontrollably. Rapid thoughts, one after another, are pounding at my head. Did Yahiko just kill someone? Did Soji just die before my eyes? No, let me. She takes the bowl from my grasp, holding the spoon before my lips. Feeding me? Really? I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Let you starve? She quickly jams the spoon into my mouth. The warm, savory liquid soothes my throat. I instinctively hum in approval. It's good. Well, duh. The thought dawns on me as I take another spoonful of soup. What happened to your luggage? Luggage? You were going back home. Oh, well, plans changed. It doesn't tend to happen when you see someone die. Or that does tend to happen. Does Masato know? I don't know. You haven't told him? Well, where's he been? Has he contacted you? No, he hasn't, okay? And he won't. She grips the bowl in both hands, her shoulders slumping. For the first time, I notice how tired she looks. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you. No, it's okay. But what's been happening to all of us? How are you feeling? Fine. I see that the bloodshot veins in her eyes and the deep shadows on her skin, and how there's no life to her smile. Liar. Come here. I take the bowl from her hands and place it on the ground. Then I slide an arm around her shoulders, rubbing it gently. She seems to collapse inwardly, hiding her face in her hands. Why is this happening? It's okay. I don't understand. First it's with Masato, then Akira, and Yahiko. Everyone's leaving. Leaving? Don't worry. I won't leave. She relaxes at my words and wipes her sleeve across her face. Well, it's not like anyone else would put up with you, right? Right. Her mood seems to lighten, but her brow flickers in concern. You saw Mizu, didn't you? I nod silently, trying to swallow past the lump in my throat. Yeah. And? It's okay. This wasn't the first time. I try to pass this off as a joke, but Rui grows deathly still. What? Maybe this wasn't a good idea. What am I supposed to say? I nearly drowned yesterday? Never mind. Yama, tell me what happened, now. Her eyes pierced through me, and her mouth set in a hard frown. Looks like I should just come clean. I almost drowned yesterday. You know, the Rainbow River? Soji was drowning. Thought I could save him. But that river... I know. It was the very first reason why my family had moved away from Isamu. Because of what happened in that river. The river that, miles further upstream, bordered a certain elementary school. I'd been born and raised in Isamu, and I had a sibling. But after the accident in the river, a frightening bus crash that resulted in around 30 casualties. Well, we didn't stick around. So we moved. Nice town, 3 hours away, quiet place called Seto, where we were supposed to start over. A town where I met Rui and Misaki. But then when Rui's parents found jobs in a prosperous metropolis of Isamu, they couldn't hesitate to take them. Not when they were still working through the aftermath of the recession. So Rui came to Isamu, and I came with her. Back to this cursed city and its cursed river. You know how dangerous that river can be. Why would you even... You can't even swim! Yeah, well, there's a reason it turned out the way it did. And when were you going to tell me this? The edge to her voice alerts me to just how distressed she is. Is it really such a big deal? You could have died. Well, I didn't. That's not the problem, Yama. You don't tell me anything. Her sudden outburst stuns me into silence. She grips my shoulders, fingers curling through the comforter and digging into my arms. You're always hiding things. You never know what's going on. Don't you trust me? Why? Her voice is shaking. I work to speak past the numbness on my tongue. I don't hide anything from... Then what about Shigure? What about the investigation? The serial murders? What about... She grips my shirt, tears dripping onto my comforter. You haven't told me anything. That you've been staying up late? That these things keep happening to you? I don't know what you've been doing after school. I don't even see you around. Blurt out the one thing on my mind. How did you know about the investigation? Is that what's important right now? You're investigating serial killings, Yama, and you don't have any training in anything, and you're just a kid. You can't do that. Can't do what? Can't do everything? Can't do anything? Has there ever been something that I could do? Not a good student, not a good son, not a good investigator. Tell me, Rui, is there anything that I am good at? You know, being an average student is just fine if it keeps you alive. I can't live like that. If you keep this up, you're not going to live at all. Don't you get it? I'm fine with that. What are you even saying? I'm sick of being useless. My anger is burning to my mouth. I'm spewing whatever comes to my head. Why have you stuck around me, huh? Why have you stuck with such an incompetent excuse for a human being? You shouldn't get anything from it. The only thing you're incompetent at is telling me when important stuff happens in your life. Like, oh, I don't know, the fact that you almost drowned yesterday. Am I really even a friend to you? Kind of friend. What is a friend? Someone who makes you feel nice and cozy? Is that why you were with me? Sticking around someone you know you're better than at everything? Probably made you feel really good about yourself. Yama! Shut up. You don't even know what's been happening. You don't even care. You don't even ask. You just sit back and do nothing. Do nothing. I no longer see the need to expend resources on a worthless assistant. Why don't you try at anything? You're the genius. Figure it out. Rage floods to the tips of my fingers. I can feel venom slicking over my tongue. I do nothing. I sit around my apartment and twiddle my thumbs all day. Yep, that's me. It's Yama Ishimoto. What a kid. What a stupid, arrogant kid. Did nothing while his sister, his older sister, would have had so much potential. Yama. You know what she wanted to be? A defense attorney, at 9 years old. She didn't even know what it was. She just asked our parents what the best job to protect people was, and they said a lawyer. So she had her heart set on being a lawyer. Meanwhile, what did Yama want to be? Good old Yama Ishimoto wanted to be a, wait for it, tree. Yes, I kid you not, a tree. The kind with leaves and a trunk and all that crap. Why? Because trees were tall and green, and he thought both of those attributes were pretty cool at the time. Stupid, isn't it? You know what would have been better? If Yama died and Mizu had lived. I would have liked that. Wouldn't have you liked that? Don't blame yourself for that, Yama. It wasn't your fault that she died. It was the blizzard, the bus driver, sweepers. You shouldn't have been on that bus in the first place. I'd like to think that, I really would. And maybe for a while I did. I clenched my hands until my nails are digging grooves in the base of my palm. But you know what? Someone kept bringing it up. What? You could have left me alone. You could have let me forget. But you didn't let me. Why? Why do you keep nagging me? Why are you so insistent on sticking around me every day, every hour, every minute? What? I can't do anything on my own now? It always needs to be with you. Tears fill her eyes and spill onto her cheeks. My eyes and throat burning up. My tongue feels like it's on fire, but I can't stop. I was fine. Life was fine. And then you came. You made me think of her. Do you like it when I suffer? Do you like seeing me in pain? Well, congratulations, because you did an excellent job. You deserve that, Yama. My head swivels harshly to the side, cheeks smarting from the impact of Rui's palm. She stares angrily at me, tears dripping from her chin onto the carpet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for caring for you, for sticking up for you, for spending time with you, for being such a terrible burden. And I'm sorry to myself for putting up with such an ignorant, thankless person all these years. Her every word socks me straight in the gut, even though she speaks quietly. Thanks for being honest with me. I didn't realize that I was such a horrible person. Horrible for worrying about you, for being upset when you could have died yesterday, and I wouldn't have known at all. But by all means, keep telling me. It's not like I know my own faults or anything. She storms to the front door, slinging her backpack over her shoulder. Goodbye, Ishimoto. She slams the door behind her, leaving me in frigid silence. And on that note, I'm going to end it there, because I went a little bit over, because I wanted to see what was happening. Oops. That, could have ended much better. Yeah, I think Yama just done fucked up. Because he just told her he wasn't going to leave her, and then he pulled that shit. So, that's fun, and we're no closer to finding out who the murderer is. Fantastic. Yahiko's been arrested. But I'm not sure if he actually was trying to kill Soji, or if he was trying to stop Soji from killing himself. I don't really know. We know Soji was suicidal, because he jumped into the river trying to kill himself. Or at least we assume that's what happened. So, yeah. We'll pick back up here next time and see what else we can fuck up. Remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life. Don't push anybody in front of a train.